Hey everyone, your boy Apollo from Down, Down, Up, Up, and I said we might have time for one more. Well, we certainly do, and this one might be a bit of a mixed opinion. But here we go, another Christmas movie review. We have something physical. Boom. Now, here's the thing. Santa Claus 2, or more correctly, it should have been called The Santa Claus 2. Is it as good as the first one? No. It doesn't come anywhere close to being the classic that the first one is, but it's a nice little movie. I'll be honest, this movie to me isn't so much I need a special new plot, I want to see the characters do more. Not more, it's just I want to see more of the Christmas aspects of the setting, because let's be honest, we didn't do a lot at the North Pole in the first movie. It's nice to see more done and more elf subplots in this movie compared to the first. I like seeing more out of it because other than that, the plot isn't anything too interesting. The characters outside of the new ones aren't too interesting. It's just nice to see more done in this little magical world is all. But that's nothing shading away the acting. Acting, in my opinion, still top notch. Good compared to the first movie. Tim Allen is still absolutely hilarious. And if you've seen this movie, you know that there are two Santa Clauses to keep track of. And in my opinion, Tim Allen smashes both of them, as he did in the first movie with just one. Let's read and we'll judge and do what we need to do. Okay, Tim Allen reappears in Santa Claus 2, the hilarious sequel to everyone's favorite holiday. Scott Calvin has been Santa Claus for the past 8 years, and his loyal elves consider him the best one ever, but Scott's got problems. His son Charlie, which by the way I do like, is played by the same actor as in the first movie. Watching this for the first time, I actually didn't expect that. A few very minor changes in this movie. I think the only character that had to get recast was the little girl elf Judy, and I'm not even sure if it's the same character in this movie because I don't believe we heard her name. But everyone else I think is played by the same actor or actress. Anyway, Charlie's on the naughty list. His behavior's changed. We'll get into his story in a second. And if Scott doesn't marry by Christmas Eve, one very, very short month away, he'll stop being Santa forever. So how do we get to that situation? Well, after a cute little opener, which, believe it or not, included Radar from MASH, and if that grabs anyone's interest, I'm not going to say any more about it. He's in this movie for a brief little period at the beginning, and it's cute enough. We find out not only is Charlie on the naughty list because he's defacing school property in spite of this anti-Christmas principle, take that what you will, there is yet another clause on the card that Scott Calvin, aka Santa Claus, got in the first movie. Much harder to see. Written on the actual lining around the Santa Claus name, the red lining, I believe, on the card, which states that he needs a bride, plain and simple. So he's losing his powers to be Santa Claus, which also includes his look. Most of this movie, just like the first, it's just looking like your regular Tim Allen, aka Scott Calvin, which worked. So he's looking for a bride, ends up being the very principal that Charlie is bothering to a high degree, but they form a relationship. There is a cute scene where he makes a very low-key, boring Christmas party the highlight of kindness in the movie. I did like that. And then finally gets Charlie's opinions of everything fixed and straight. And then on the other hand, this means he's not at the North Pole. What does that mean for the elves? It means that there is this new elf in the movie that decides he thinks we can just clone Santa and have a working copy do what needs to be done. Well, that doesn't go so well, and that's where Tim Allen shines being a dick in this movie, in my opinion. His anti-Santa Claus character is hilarious. Even when he battles the real Santa at the end, he's throwing one-liners like crazy, and I almost missed this one. You are a sad, strange little man. I still cannot believe they ripped that off. I don't care. It was absolutely hilarious, and it worked for me. It worked for me enough. The comedy in this movie held up. What I don't like about this movie, very little to be honest, and I'll explain why in a minute, but what I don't like, two things. One, the Christmas globe not showing the Santa sleigh And there's just this small little ring of music that plays in it in the first movie several times that touches the heartstrings. I don't get that in this movie. That's a downer. And some of the original music isn't used either, which is also a downer. You got to think, when you have something that original, you have to take in all aspects. And so many movies fail to understand that. Home Alone 2 did not fail. This movie, it did when it came to music. And two, the pet peeve of this, it could go so many ways, but you have to remember this is my experience with this movie. And the third, which changed my look on this, but again in a second, the most annoying freaking pet peeve in this movie, Chet, the freaking reindeer in training. I hate the stupid kitty laugh behind that thing. I'm thankful to the heavens above that this does not appear in the movie more than twice. Although it takes up a good chunk of the key climax of the movie, it's a pain in the ass. Honestly, I don't know why. I don't know why so many things I can just let go, but that stupid cackle laugh from that reindeer ticks me off. Ticks me off to such a high degree. They should not have over kiddied it. And this is a bit of a stretch of example. Chet the reindeer in this movie is Jar Jar Binks in Star Wars Episode 1. That's how annoyed I am. Most of you probably get that. But as a whole, I like this movie. I like including it in my listings. I love watching the first one followed up by this one. It's good. It's the third one that maybe if I never seen, I'd have more criticism for this movie not being as classic as the first. But the first and only time I watched the third one, I hated it with a strong passion that I never watched it again. And I was really little when I saw that too. I guess not really little, but little enough that you'd think I'd give it another chance years later. But no, absolutely couldn't stand it. And I guess to be fair, a big reason is I don't like the plot of your time past being erased, so to speak. I hated it in Shrek 4, watching that when I was younger. I hated it in the Santa Claus 3. So if I want to watch another Santa Claus, it's always going to be the second one for being a nice little movie. That's really all it is. Would I recommend this? Not really. Unless you want to just see more things going on relating to the first one. Don't have high expectations. It's a nice little movie otherwise. Good stuff. Tim Allen's great. Let's move on. That's it. Hope you all have a lovely rest of your day. I will most likely see you, maybe not tomorrow, but maybe Thursday for more things to come. We're definitely running out of the classics on my list, but there's still a few I want to get through, and especially a couple of big ones. Have a lovely day. Keep it real. I'm still here, whatever. I'm really enjoying doing that now. I can't help it. Bye-bye.